Okay, here we go. Engineered Conversations. I have Khanh with me here.
Hello.
And we are about T-minus 10 calendar days away from the start of the fall 2018 semester.
It begins.
Very exciting. We've had a pretty good summer. We've gotten a lot done. A lot of changes, but good changes.
Renovations, new rooms, new colors.
Yes, exactly. So for those of you coming in, brand new, you will notice in the AET building, we have what's affectionately referred to as the TAB, or the Teaching Assistant Booth. We took special care preparing that this summer. We have a giant sign. You can't miss it. It says Teaching Assistant Booth. Khanh actually designed the sign. And it's got a restaurant-style booth to sit in, a very nice table with power and network, and then a bench and a whiteboard wall.
A whiteboard wall? That's crazy.
I know, right? It's crazy. So the entire wall is a whiteboard. So that's pretty neat. What else? We've done, Dr. Wong is trading labs with Dr. Chin.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been going through a renovation process. That's going to continue to, unfortunately, be a work in progress probably up until the first few weeks of the fall semester. I apologize. I popped my knuckle on microphone. Shame on me.
I mean, that lab was pretty cluttered to begin with.
It was very cluttered, yes. It was a former faculty member who's retired. And, yeah, it was funny because clearing out some of the stuff, there was papers and magazines and stuff from the 70s.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it was time.
Yes.
It was time to give it
I imagine so.
A fresh start. So, but it's going to look good once it's all done.
So what kind of lab will it be?
It's going to be a computer lab, but it's going to be, like I said, Dr. Wong's lab. So he's the one that does a lot of the AI and the neural interface experiments and everything. So, and it's also going to be kind of our, I don't want to call it our show lab, but it's going to be the lab that when people come to visit us, that's going to be the lab that we present. So we're going to make it, nice, and all the labs are nice, I should say that, but this is going to be visitor friendly.
I see.
Where a lot of the other labs that we have are very much like the students are in the midst of doing their experiments, and the labs are catered to them. So, as an outsider coming in, maybe they're like, "Oh, this looks weird or messy," and it's like, no, everything is in its place, and the students know, and that way the experiments can get done. But this is definitely going to be the lab where visitors, like either our EAC people or anybody coming in, really. We'll walk them up and they'll walk in and be like, ooh.
Well, like field trips and stuff for high school students. That'd be cool. Yeah, very much so.
Exactly. So, and then I guess, that is one of the big ones. But then the other big one is we have a new conference room, but it's not going to be a strict conference room.
Oh, my goodness, Justin. What is it going to be?
Khanh, you sound so surprised. We are referring to it affectionately right now as the Idea Room. We're referring to a lot of things affectionately, apparently, this time around. No, it's going to be our new Idea Room. We did some swapping around of rooms, and the conference room that we had in the AET has now become faculty offices, which looks very nice.
It's actually the conference that is now faculty office is right next to the teaching assistant booth. So in case you need to find it.
Yeah, so if you're looking for Dr. Alamaniadis' office, it's right across from the TA booth. But this new Idea Room is going to be on the other side of that large open area in the AET, and it's going to be able to have conferences, but we're kind of doing something different with it. We're going to make it more like an Idea Room where you can go in and brainstorm and have. It's not going to be a formal room with the table and chairs and you sit down, and it's going to still going to have computer and areas to sit, but it's also going to be more free flowing, more organic, to allow for different types of thought processes and meetings and everything. So I'm pretty excited about it. So that should be actually getting started hopefully next week from our facilities team here at UTSA. And then once they've done their part, I get to go in and do the rest of it. And so hopefully by, I'd say mid-September.
It'll be ready?
Is my optimistic estimate. It should be completely done. Like, that'll be when it's done, ready to host ideas.
And that explains, if students have come by to see your office or Beth's office, why you guys have giant beanbags in there.
Giant beanbags, yes.
Orange and blue giant beanbags. Those go in the idea room, so they're not going to be permanent furniture in your office, unfortunately.
No, thankfully. And it finally happened. I finally tripped over it and almost fell on my face.
On a beanbag, Justin?
Yeah. I was actually going to get ready to set up for this podcast, and walking out, I caught my toe, and that was fine. I didn't fall. I almost fell. I didn't fall. But yeah, so the beanbags are going to be part of it. Like I said, it's going to be a different take. We saw some cool magazine articles with room ideas, and it's going to be more of a California feel, if that makes sense at all.
California feel, like a think tank.
Like a think tank, yeah. We're just going to be, you can go in and just sit, and it's got a giant window with a lot of natural light. So it's going to be a really cool room. Like I said, I'm very excited about it once it's actually done. I think it'll look really neat.
Is this the one that's going to have the projector on the TV that allows you to do touchscreen?
This thing called a TouchJet. We found out about it, and it basically turns up to a 65-inch TV, which is what's going to be in there, into a giant Android touchscreen. So
that's awesome.
I know. It's pretty cool. I have no idea how it actually works, but apparently it does. So yeah, that'll be once everything's up and running, and it'll have a webcam to do video conferencing and everything. So it's going to be a really neat room. It's going to be one of our pride and joys on top of our other pride and joys that we have, like our newly redone giant conference room, which is where we're podcasting from right now. It's got fresh carpet, fresh paint, fresh, a new design with tables and chairs. So we've done a lot of changes this summer. It's been a lot of work, but it's been good.
Yes,
good work.
Yes. For students that are listening out there, you know that Justin has done a lot of manual labor this summer. I don't know if you've ever seen him, but he's the guy lugging around giant furniture to be thrown away and stuff. So he's done a lot of work.
So free donuts for me. No, I'm kidding. No, it's I like doing that kind of stuff, and it's been good for the department. So I'm
a lot of bloodshed too, just FYI.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm the only one who actually bleeds in this department. We ordered a brand new first aid kit, and I think it's specifically for me.
Yep.
So lots of gauze and Band-Aids. So yeah, I bleed for you. No, not on purpose, obviously. In fact, I cut myself yesterday too.
With what, bookcases?
I don't know.
Shelves?
Something in Dr. Wong's lab and cleaning stuff out. Something cut me. So yeah, by the time I leave or retire from this department, I will have multiple scars. My kids down the road will be like, "Where'd you get that?" I'm like, electrical engineering. So
rough stuff.
I know, yeah. So yeah, the fall semester starting. It's always a crazy time. The fall is always crazier than the spring because the fall is the start of a brand new academic year, start of a lot of new things with UTSA because our fiscal year starts September 1. Mm-hmm. The academic year starts September 1.
Most of our traditional new students come in fall.
Yeah, so it's always a crazy hectic time. Parking is an issue the first month or so of the fall semester.
Traffic is insane the first month of school.
Especially the first week. The first 2 weeks, I'd say, are just crazy. So if you're a brand new student or a continuing student, you know what it's like. Plan ahead because traffic is going to be crazy. Because,
at least half an hour ahead.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. There are some other changes going on with stuff. I know that sounds very vague, but as far as like how students are going to be paid and reimbursements, we're actually working on something right now. We're trying to get as much information as we can before we present it because we don't want to present anything incorrectly or half correctly.
Researched.
Yeah. We want to make sure we're as researched as we can. And once we have all that information, we'll definitely put it out there for everybody to see. There's still going to be a ton of questions, but at least hopefully this will curb a few of them. As we said in our very first podcast here, we're always here to answer questions. You know, we're fully staffed now, and we're happy about that fact. Excuse me. And so any questions that students have, whether it's for classes or payments or access, anything like that, we are here, and we're always have our doors open to help you out. So
Yes, absolutely. Please don't hesitate to come into the office, because if you have an issue and you wait to come talk to us about it after the fact, it just may not be resolved as easily. You may be one of our horror stories about what could happen when you don't come talk to us. Come talk to us. That's the number one advice.
Yes.
If you have questions, you have issues, come talk to somebody.
Right. We are always, always, always here. All right. Even if somebody's out or we're in a meeting or a door is closed, somebody will be able to talk to you and help you out. So, like Khan said, do not hesitate. I'm not going to lie. When you said if you have an issue, I almost busted out a Vanilla Ice joke. I don't think a lot of our students are.
Don't date yourself,
alive.
Justin.
Excuse me, man. If you live in San Antonio and if you've been here over the summer, you know about the whole African dust thing. It has been wrecking my voice all summer long. So if you've been here, then you know what the African dust has been. So I apologize.
What is that even about, honestly, African dust?
It's just from the Sahara Desert, and it travels over the ocean. I don't know how this cloud of dust manages to make it thousands of miles over water and basically plants itself in the Gulf of Mexico. And Texas gets a lot of it. Mexico gets a lot of it. The Gulf Coast states get a lot of it. But yeah, apparently San Antonio is a giant magnet for African dust. So
I feel you.
yeah, so if you've been suffering, join the party. It's been a rough summer as far as allergies go.
My throat has been hurting a lot lately,
Yeah,
too, for the same
so
reason.
Hopefully once the season's done, apparently dust has a season. I don't know. It has to bloom. I don't know. So yeah, so I apologize for if my voice sounds wonky. So
New rooms,
new faculty. We have 2 brand new faculty starting with us this fall, Dr. Banerjee and Dr. Alamaniadis.
both focusing on like what was it, machine learning?
Yeah.
That'll be our new focus,
Yeah.
or at least our new road that we're going to try to go down and invest in.
Yes. And of course, everybody else, all of our other faculty are returning, which is great. You know, we love we've got, if I can brag a little bit, I think I love our faculty. We've got great faculty. So I don't want to say we're better than anybody else in the department. I'm just going to, or UTSA, but I'm just going to say I love our faculty. We have great faculty. But yeah, many returning faces, a couple new faces. If you haven't come by the office in a long time, in fact, if you haven't come by the office at all, like I said before, we are fully staffed now. We have 5 staff, including myself, Khanh, Beth, who's our fiscal specialist, Stephanie, who is our undergrad person, and Sarah, who assists Beth with the fiscal part of it. So yeah, if you haven't come by and say hi. We are planning. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, and unofficially 6 with Rachel. Rachel, our work study, the person that sits in the front desk that students see very often when you guys come in. She does an amazing job, and she takes care of most of your timesheets. So, you know, if you have timesheet issues,
yes, thank you.
Go to Rachel.
I didn't mean to exclude Rachel, but yes, you are absolutely correct. Rachel's been a wonderful addition to the team. She was actually here previously. She was here before I started, left, and came back, and we're super happy to have her. So
yeah.
But yeah, the fall is always a crazy time. And it's always, especially for new students, it's always a very overwhelming time.
I can imagine, especially since most of our population is international. They're coming from a different country.
Right.
It's culture shock. You don't really think about it living here. You just, acclimate to this. This is just the way things are. But
Right.
you put yourself in their shoes. They're coming from a different place, different culture, different environment, different norms. They have to get used to that, and they're going to be spending a couple years here earning their degree. That's going to be a long time away from home, homesickness, and all that stuff that they're dealing with.
Right. And one thing I want to do is give a shout out. Is it cool to say shout out still? I don't know. But to acknowledge our student base too, because a lot of the students who are continuing and have been continuing in the department for a long time really take in new students under their wing, or really befriend them and get to know them. And that's a really cool concept. And so our student base, our student population is fantastic when it comes to that, and to welcoming new students and helping them out, introducing them to the people that they need to know, including us, including the faculty, and people around the university. So, our department in general, faculty, staff, and student base is just awesome. It's a really great place to be. So if you're going to be part of electrical engineering, welcome. If not,
Come
catalog.
join us.
Yeah, come join us.
You know you want to.
So, but yeah, with fall starting, we're actually going to try and do a lot of interactive things with students too. I know Meet Your Mentor is happening in October. I want to say early October.
Mm-hmm.
That's primarily for undergrads, but anybody's welcome to come. That'll be out it was in the atrium last year. I'm assuming it's still going to be the atrium of the BSE building here.
When was it? I wasn't here last year for that.
When was it?
Yeah, like what is it, I guess?
Oh, it's an opportunity for undergrads to come meet their faculty mentors and talk to them and just get to know them better. It's kind of a meet and greet session. Last year afterwards we had pizza available. So there was a stampede of undergrads to our office.
I mean, as always, where there's pizza, there are students.
Yes. If you bring it, they will come. We'll probably do the same thing. We'll definitely offer food. So we may have a slightly different layout. It got a little bottlenecked. But doing it once, we know what to do and what not to do. So we'll have a different layout. So it'll work out. But no, like I said, it was a great time, great opportunity for students to meet their faculty mentors and get to know them better and sit down and just have a kind of a chat. It's like a big group session type thing. So
I see.
We're definitely doing that again in October. We try to make as much interaction with the students as possible to keep them included, to keep them up to date. The good news is with the technology we have now, we can kind of do it more often and not necessarily have to have everybody here with us. Which kind of like these podcasts, you can listen to them as you will on your leisure time or whenever, and so you don't have to be at a certain room at a certain time in order to be able to participate or to get the information.
Yeah, you can do it offsite. Speaking of offsite, I'm just going to do a short little plug. We have a class that's offered this fall that's going to be offered at the Southwest Research Institute. It's being taught by one of our doctoral students, RJ. I think it's Linear Systems and Controls. So if you're interested, definitely sign up for that. It's going to be hosted at Soiree. So the class itself is over there in Soiree, but it's going to have hybrid capabilities. So you can sign in via the software that they use. I don't think they've picked one yet, but it will be able to, you'll be able to see and join the classroom without actually having to be there. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Thank you for that. That was a good plug. So yeah, we're growing. We're changing with the times. We're trying to keep up with, the technological advancements that are out there. So again, can't stress this enough. If you have questions or you need to talk to somebody about anything to do with the department, come talk to us. We are always here. Even if we're not, somebody is. If the person that you're looking for is, at lunch or in a meeting or whatever, let us know and we'll definitely get them. We'll get to you. We will answer your questions. We want to help you. We want to be here for you. So the fall is crazy. The first month or so is crazy. Stick with it. It'll get better. And then as the fall progresses, there's a lot of fun stuff to do around the campus too. Homecoming happens, and that's when, is it Best Fest is the fall?
Yes.
Yeah, Best Fest is fall. I always get that mixed up. They've been doing that in the evenings now, which...
Because Best Fest is around October, like Halloween time.
Yeah. So they've started pairing it up with Homecoming now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I always liked it better when it was in the daytime. I could go during lunch and do all that stuff, but
yeah,
I'm an old timer, so it's all right. But yeah, so that's coming up, all the holidays, all the fun activities. So yeah, I mean, fall's great. I love fall. It's a hectic start, but it always becomes... a
lot of the fun stuff happens in fall.
And the weather starts cooling down, and Lord knows we need cooler weather.
So hot outside.
It's been a hot summer. Again, African dust and 100-degree days.
Welcome to Texas.
It's a San Antonio summer. So, with that said, again, we have a Facebook page, we have Instagram, we have Snapchat, we have our own website. Check us out. We try to post as often as we can to keep students up to date. But if you have questions otherwise, please feel free to stop by. We're Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, where you're here. We're here for you. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So we're not going to neglect that for sure.
Of course not.
So, Con, is there anything else you'd like to add before we sign off for this time?
Not that I can think of. I think we covered most of the stuff, right? New rooms, new labs, new faculty, new classes, machine learning. That's about it.
Yeah. So, yeah, fall semester, here we go.
Woo!
If you like us, subscribe to us. Let us know what you'd like to talk to us or what we can talk about. The great thing was with summer, there's not a lot of people here. With the fall starting up, we have a lot more just people on campus. So we'll be able to get a much more diverse audience and participants for the podcast too. So
Yeah, absolutely.
definitely, if you have an idea, if you want to come talk to us, and this is open to students too. Students can obviously come and be a part of the podcast. In fact, we encourage that.
Yes, please. You don't want me to sit here all day long talking about administrative stuff. That would be boring.
Yeah. It is good to talk about from time to time. But
Yes.
yeah, every session would be boring. But yeah, so please let us know if you'd like to be a part of the podcast, what you'd like to talk about, and we will absolutely make time to get you on here. So thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye-bye.